Okay. So, good evening, everyone. Today is the second session of our Mac2 project bootcamp, and today we will be targeting to set up a uh, basic Vue.js app, and we will try to create a basic front-end side working and a backend side with few of the things like creating our models like user tables and other things. Today's target will be this. Now, so this is the project folder I have created for the Mac2 bootcamp. I would request everyone else to also create some folder. It can be of your main project name or something else, and then open it in your VS Code. So at the start, it will look like this. And now inside this Mac2 bootcamp, you can uh, you can create another folder with the name of backend where we will keeping of all our app.py files and other things. And second thing, we will create a front end folder. So for creating a front end folder, the commands are like this. So npm install -c @view/cli. So this is the command to install the Vue CLI. I will paste it here as well. So this is the command. Once you hit enter, it will start downloading. So until it's downloading in another terminal, what you can do is you can create a virtual environment. So we will be creating a virtual environment for our application so that we can maintain all the libraries for our application. So to do that, you can do it like this: pip install virtual env. Once you are done with this command, this is the command, and once you are done with this, you have to write virtual env my env. So it will create a folder with the name of this, and how to activate this app. So for Mac, it is Mac and Linux, it is mynv/bin/activate. Sorry, source mynv/bin/activate. And as you can see, after hitting this command, you will be able to see my env thing in the terminal, and which will indicate that your environment is now running. So first command is virtual env. Uh, First command is this. Now to run, yes, Akmal.
This npm install. So is there is a folder that you have created like backend? There I need to run this.
No, this should not this will not be run in the backend side. This is this env side, right? Huh? This env folder, right?
Uh,
Hello.
yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. This npm install -g. Where should I run this?
Okay, this you can run in the main project folder, the Mat2 project bootcamp.
Mm,
You have to run it in the main folder, not in any other folder like backend or myenv. You have to run it there.
mhm. Okay, just wait a minute. I'm trying to open this one.
Okay, if your npm is not recognized, then the command is picked. I will tell you.
Sir, in my case, it is saying permission denied when I'm trying to activate.
What is for what you are using, Mac or
Sir, I am using Mac.
for Mac? Go with source, then mynv/win. This is the command
Source.
slash mynv, then /win/activate.
Perfect.
It's not letting me install this npm actually.
This is the site from where you can download more. Rajat, can you check your mic? Background noise is too much.
Oh, sorry,
Yes.
sir.
So okay. Now you can start sharing your screen one by one so that I can see. So Adnan, can you please share your screen?
Yes, I'm sharing it now. Just wait a minute.
Yeah.
Uh, window, entire screen share. Are you seeing the screen?
Uh, yes. Now I'm able to see. So okay, this is if it is not recognized, then I have given you a site, or you can just directly in a new tab of Chrome, you can type Node.js download.
Yeah.
Yeah. So first link you will get, you can go to that.
Okay, so this one I need to download.
Yes.
Okay, this is
Yeah.
an
Open
MSI.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Run this.
This is some kind of image file, I think. Okay, for creating the virtual environment, what should I do?
Pip install. Pip install. Yeah. Run. Is next.
Is this fine?
Yes. Yes. Next. Yes.
Should I check this box?
Yes. Install. Everyone else who are using Windows can also go to this the site and download this. And if you are using same for Mac and other thing as well. For Linux, it is a command. If somebody is using Linux, you can just raise your hand. I will if it is there, someone is there. I will send the command as well. Okay. Yes, Kaushik. Yes, I have sent you the command. Check in the chat box.
Hello, Nishkars.
Yes, Kaushik.
Yeah, so for the npm, do I install it in the root folder, as in outside or inside the project folder, or do I install that system wide, or do I install it only in the virtual environment? That Node.js and npm. I think Node.js. I already have Node.js, but for npm and that CLI, do I do it system wide or only for the project folder, virtual environment?
You can do I mean, like both of them is fine. If you are planning to use npm for other than projects, this Mat2 project or something, you can go with the default like in the main terminal, and other if you know, then you can go ahead with
Okay, and then npm install that Vue CLI. That I should do it inside the project folder, right? Once npm is installed,
yeah.
then I can do npm install that Vue CLI inside the project folder. Or that also is system wide. Then, if npm is system wide, then this also will be system wide.
Yes, it will be in also the system, right? The after the once we are done with this thing, then we will be doing things project wise.
Okay, and do I need sudo for that? I mean, for npm install Vue CLI, or just
Yes, by
npm?
using sudo, you I have given you the command sudo, as it will install it globally in your computer so that you
Right.
can use it anywhere.
No, for the Vue CLI. I mean, that's npm is fine, but
Yeah,
for Vue
for that you
CLI,
can go ahead with without using sudo.
okay. Thank you.
So Nishkash, this is happening right now. Is this the correct setup that is being triggered here?
Yes, it is. I think setting up the path location so that you can uh, maintain it everywhere. You can use it. Until then, you can in the VS Code you can go ahead with installing virtually. So pip install virtually and
Yeah.
yeah, okay. You can hit enter.
So earlier I I used to do like Python minus m virtual VNV and then the name of the virtual environment.
That is also fine. That is not an issue.
Okay, so it's kind of stuck over here like installing something.
And what about the VS? Is virtually in done?
No, it
That
is
is also not.
yeah.
I think others you can also react if you are doing all these things like Node.js and other things.
Sir, I have received many depreciated warnings. That is it fine or?
In what command?
Sir, in this when I was trying to install Vue CLI.
Oh, that is not a problem.
Okay.
Okay, open your VS Code. Yes. Okay. Okay, you can open your another terminal. Click on plus sign on the right hand side. On the right side below. Yeah. Yeah. Just do npm space dash dash version. Dash dash. Okay. Check your pip 3 and 4. I think it is due to internet connection or something. It is slow. It's taking some time. What about Kaushik? Kaushik, are you done with the installation?
No, Nishkar. I mean, you guys can carry on. I mean, I think I'm just I'm stuck with some of the dependencies. Yeah, please carry on.
Akshay, Ishwar.
I'm stuck up. Something is installing.
Okay.
Can I
So
try
this-
the other for the virtual environment? Can I try this command?
Yeah, that you can try. Yes, Kaushik.
Yeah, but can you tell me how to check if npm and Node.js is already installed, like with the version, or is there any? So I might have installed npm and Node.js, manually before. So how do I check if it's already installed, like a manual installation?
Yeah, I've sent the command. This
For
are
the version one. Yeah, that gives me 10.8 and I think 10.19.
Yeah, okay.
But suppose there are multiple versions, would it show up all the versions, or would it show up just latest version?
Latest one. I cannot show.
Okay.
Sandeep, are you done with installation?
I'm doing it right now.
Okay. And Shovit and Shubham.
Yes, sir, I have done.
Kalyan and Hari.
Yeah, so I have done. Actually, I'm using WSL. I hope it's not a problem.
Oh, yeah. That is.
Yeah.
Hari.
Sir, I'm in traveling, sir. Give me 10
Oh,
minutes
okay.
time. I will reach my home, sir.
Oh,
Then I will call you.
yeah, sure.
Sorry, sir.
And not. And G Ramesh. I think
Yeah, I think
Adnan, you can
it got
try.
created. Yeah.
It got created, and I think you can stop sharing because I think some of the load is being distributed to screen sharing, so that I think it is little bit slow internet side.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Nishkar,
but that Node.js didn't get through actually.
Okay, if that is not go through. Do you have WSL terminal?
I have the WSL terminal.
Okay, if you have WSL, then you can try the commands which I've pasted in the chat box. Sudo apt install Node.js and npm, and then we can go ahead with that also. That would be fine as well.
Nishkar, so after installing Vue CLI, I get a
Okay.
lot of deprecated warnings for npm, and then in the end it says like to update run npm install like g npm whatever the version.
Yeah,
different.
that is fine. Like deprecated, few things will be deprecated, so it is not an issue.
So how
also
do I
got-
check if Vue CLI is installed? I mean, is there a way after the installation? Is there a way to check if Vue CLI is already installed?
Yeah, you can just wait. I'll share my screen.
The view CLI part.
Yeah. Is my screen visible, right?
Yeah.
So you can just do view dash version this type of thing. Just
Okay.
type this.
Okay.
Also, once you are done with doing this task,
So in
um,
my case, okay, could I just check your version? I mean, okay, 5.0.8. Yeah, that's fine. That's view CLI 5. And anything else do I need to install before creating the virtual environment? So right now I'm doing everything system-wide in terms of view CLI and NPM. So I've installed NPM, Node.js, and view CLI all system-wide using outside the virtual environment.
okay. Now in the main folder structure, everyone can just write the command view create front end. So it will create a
Okay, wait, is this inside the virtual environment or outside?
right now it's outside because I have installed my Vue CLI in a main without virtual environment. So I will be it is outside of it. If you have done it inside a virtual environment, then you can just go ahead inside the virtual. Both things are fine.
No. So right now I have installed Vue CLI outside virtual environment, and I'm
Then
not
go
in.
ahead then do it outside the virtual environment.
Okay, so what do I do again? Could you just repeat that?
Yes, the command is view create front end.
Okay.
This is the command. And then you will be prompt to select three options. You can go ahead with the first one, a default view 3 level each name. You can just hit enter, and then after that it will start creating some. It will create a folder front end, and it will start showing some do its tasks and create some files. So let's wait for this thing.
So
You can
I
also
still,
Sir, you
I
have
still
selected
want.
two. Okay, sorry.
No. So I still want to create a virtual environment for a project. That's fine, right? I can have all these Vue and Vue CLI outside of the virtual environment, and for a project, whatever else I install using Python,
yeah.
that can be inside virtual environment, right? It will still work.
Yes. So we will be using two server links. One to
Okay.
manage our front end side, and second one will be for the back end. So most of the libraries which we will be using for backend will be installed inside our virtual environment, so that
Okay.
it will not give
So as long
problems.
as the virtual environment is a subset of all these, I mean, it's fine. If
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, right? Okay.
So I was not able to install the Vue CLI, so I removed the Node.js component from my system.
Yeah.
So what should I do now?
Now you can open your WSL terminal, and then go ahead with this commands. If you see, these are the commands.
No, I don't think that will work. I'm trying again with the. So that is all actually not so proper. Actually, the WSL in my computer. So I'm just trying to double click on that Node.js ex MSI file that I just downloaded.
Okay.
Okay, I'm sharing it. So this is what
Sure.
I'm getting.
Yes.
Sir, just a quick question, sir.
Yeah.
We have to install Vue 3 or Vue 2? We have
View
to
3.
Vue 3. Okay, sir.
So that in that Vue front end, we get three options, right? That we select Vue 3, Babel, S-Links, right?
Yes.
So this virtual environment I was able to create, and I am activated it now. Okay.
Yeah.
VNV October. Now this is going on actually. Node.js is going on. So this was not did not complete earlier.
Not recognized error is this. Akshay, are you facing this not recognized in view or what?
NPM is not recognized. That's all.
That's what I also faced. So Nishkash asked me to.
Do you have Akshay? Do you have also the WSL terminal?
No, I don't have.
Okay.
So now that thing just went away. What should I do now?
Oh, you can open your WSL. right here. So if you click on the plus, just on the button which is on the right side of plus sign, you have now choose Ubuntu WSL.
Okay.
Wait for it to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah, now here you can run the commands like sudo apt install uh, install Node.js and npm.
I don't remember this password.
Okay, you have
Uh,
to
just a quick question: is a virtual environment like really necessary? Like I did my entire MAD one without a virtual environment.
it is not necessary, but like just it is a basic practice you can go ahead, because sometimes in Windows or any other in the main project side, if you are working on different projects and different projects require different versions of a particular same library or something. So for that purpose, we use this virtual environment. So it is you can go ahead with without using virtual environment as well. It is just a small practice you can implement to make sure that everything is installed in a single thing.
Right. But over here we are installing Vue CLI first, and then we are starting a virtual environment, right? So then, wouldn't that
Virtual
be
environment will be so what, because like in the virtual environment we will be installing all the dependencies which we required for our Flask application side. For
okay?
Vue we will go ahead with the same one. You can go ahead with that also, but yeah.
All right, thank you. And is
Okay,
that
sir, I'm not able to get past this error here.
Yeah. Yes, Sandeep. Wait, Anand, I will send some comments.
no? I was just what were the two folders you had on your screen? You had backend, and what was the other one?
Backend, then other folder will be created of my env virtual
My
environment,
that
and
will
the
be
third
great.
one would be the front end folder which we created using view create command.
All right, okay.
Uh, Wait, Anand.
Yeah, Nishkars, I have one doubt. So, and the entire map to theory was done using, it was taught using Vue 2. So now, if
Yes.
you do the project using Vue 3, do you think, because there will be a few differences, I suppose, in terms of commands and otherwise. So, do you think that would be a problem?
No, that will not be a problem. And also, V3 is little bit like a lot faster in the Vue 2 part, and it has
Okay.
extra functionalities which we can use to do our task more securely and more in a systemic manner. So that's why.
Okay. And there's no restriction on the version of Vue in terms of the project, right? I mean, because the theory was taught using Vue 2. So, there is no restriction.
No, no, there is no restrictions.
Okay.
One more question. Vue CLI, is it compulsory? Can we go ahead without using Vue CLI?
Yeah, it is not compulsory. Both CLI and CDN, both versions are acceptable. So you
Okay.
can go ahead with any one of them.
Okay.
For the requirements, I mean, do we know which are the requirements that we have to install inside the virtual environment, or
Yeah, we
are
have
we going to
some.
install it as we go along?
Yes, as we go along, we will be installing with our requirement.
Okay.
Adnan, can you please share your screen? Hello. Yes, with
Yeah, I have a question. With Vue CLI, what all features do we need? Babel, router. Uh, do we need router also, or just Babel and
yeah, we
linter?
will be installing router and everything afterwards. If you are doing manual, are you doing manual installation?
Yes.
So we need Raven. We need if you have seen an option for route, then that is also we need it.
Yeah.
So you can go ahead with that also.
Okay. So just three:
Yeah,
Babel, router, and linter.
uh,
Thank you.
So since that WSL thing didn't work for me because of the password, I forgot. Now I'm trying to reinstall it using the MSI image that I downloaded. Okay.
mm. Okay, Adnan, once you are done with the installation thing, then you can ping me again, then we will see the other things. Okay. Till then,
Okay, no worries. You
yeah.
can stop. Go ahead. Yes, yes. Thank you.
So we are done with this backend front end folders. Now, how you can run your front end project is you can do CD front end, and then inside it you can just do npm run.
Hello, Mishkov. I
Uh,
think I'm done with the installation, but still not able to run
like
not run the
installation of what?
service. Yeah, I think so. Can I share the screen?
Yes, sure.
Hello, is it visible?
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's finished. It's been stuck here for a while. Is it finished here?
I think it's doing some task. Still, it is in some. Once it is being installed, it will ask you to hit enter or something, and it will close automatically.
Okay, so should I should wait, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, well, what do I run after the front end? Or once I CD into the front end?
Yeah. Wait, I will share my screen. Yeah. So once you're done with this, one thing we are also adding is router part. So you can write the command view add router. Make sure this view add router thing you are doing inside the front end folder. So you can do cd front end and then run this command view add router. So it will ask you for prompts.
I think you did something more, right? You run something. You did view
Yeah, I
run.
just go back and then first doing this thing, then I will do the task again.
So you did view add router, right? View add router.
Yes, view add router. So it's a so view add router. It will prompt you to ask for something like use HTTP mode for routers and other things. You can just type why and then move add. As soon as you are done with all the installation, you will be seeing a router folder inside your SRC in the front end. So once all the things are done,
Excuse me, how did you get that front end folder? Was it just, is it a normal folder or?
No, no, we get it using the command view create front end.
Oh, okay.
Like once you are done with this command, npm install -g in the your
I'm
main
on,
route.
I'm on Linux, so I just did sudo apt install npm.
Yeah,
And then
means once you are done with this thing, npm install -g at a rate. So after
alright.
this, what you can do is type this command view create front end.
Oh, okay,
And
sorry, I got disconnected for a minute. Okay, let me do
yeah.
that.
Then once you're done with this, you will to run the server. The command is npm run serve, and it will start your server. And you can see we are logged into our server. You can copy this code and paste in a new tab, and then you will be redirected like this. And you can see the route is working or not by using these two commands. So if it is going to /about and the route also you are seeing /about, then your router part is also working fine. So this way a basic front end pad is loaded.
So can you repeat what you did last?
The command is npm run serve. So this is the command to run the server.
Sir, I am getting two things, local and network.
Yeah, you
And
would be getting two things. So you can use any one of them. Just
Okay.
copy them and then just paste it inside a new tab.
Okay.
So it looks like that Node.js thing is not working for me, Nishkarsh.
Okay, if it is like if the installation is keep continuing or what is happening?
It is giving me several warnings and errors actually.
Okay, so we will try to reset the password of WSL and then we will go ahead with the way of WSL. Okay.
So Nishkarsh, npm run serve would be inside front end, right? Both.
Yes. Yes.
npm run serve. Okay.
can I share my screen because I get this error when I try to run
Yeah, sure.
npm. Just a second.
So what is the difference between local and network here in npm server?
So local network is this thing is being generated whenever you are on, like it will generate it every time, but this is our router's network. So even if you are running on this thing, if you paste it somewhere else, which is connected to the same Wi-Fi or something, in case of Wi-Fi case, so you will be able to access the website from there as well. So this is the link that is generated in a Wi-Fi. So it is allotted a single some port which is 8080 to this website.
So
But-
I mean, localhost there and the IP address that you have in network aren't in the
So
same.
this is
like
the
one-
IP address here. This is the IP address of router,
Okay.
and then this is the port. So yeah, but
Yeah.
this
So
is for
so that
local.
IP address and localhost are different though. I mean, localhost IP address is not 192.168. That is not the IP address.
Yeah, this is different. This is just for your Mac on like for the laptop thing. So you can't
Okay.
use it somewhere else. So if you type it
Okay,
on
okay.
somewhere else, it will not show you anything.
Okay.
Yes, Sandeep, you can share your screen. Sandeep, are you trying to come through the different ID? Please change it to IITM.
I'm not able to download the Node.js thing. It's been stuck on a step for about 10-20 minutes, I think.
Yeah. Wait. You have Windows 11, right?
Yes.
So I am pasted a YouTube link. So you can refer this link, which is a way to install WSL. So once you are done with installation of WSL, we can move ahead with installing Node.js and other things on WSL part. Okay.
Hello, I'm sorry, I was disconnected for a moment. What did you say?
I just said, if you check the chat box, are you able to see the link, YouTube link?
Yes, yes, I can.
So this is the link to download how you can set up your WSL terminal. So you can do it.
Okay.
Once you are done with this thing, then we can move ahead with the installation. Okay.
Okay. So a small request. These codes and links can you paste in the chat instead of Meet? I mean the group instead of on the Meet. So while I am rejoining the Meet, I am losing these messages.
Okay. Wait. One thing I will do is I will create a doc that will be live shared to you so that whatever the changes I will make will be present there as well.
Okay, that will be fine.
So here on the main sessions would be in a YouTube channel, right? At least if not the GitHub. GitHub, you share the code in the GitHub.
Yes, I
And
will be sharing the GitHub, like all the code which we will write, like front end codes or back end codes, that will all be pushed to the GitHub part.
Okay.
And
And the
yeah,
sessions will
and
be on a YouTube channel, right? You'll have a list. You'll have a playlist in the YouTube channel, I suppose.
yes, I will create a playlist.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Nishkash, it got installed. I just I got a prompt to type enter to exit. And it
Yes,
got
yes,
installed,
go ahead.
but still it's showing the same error in VS Code.
In the if it is installed in the CMD terminal, can you do node space minus V?
Node space minus view
Now minus V
in the VS Code or in the CMD.
in the CMD.
Okay. Can you paste the code in the chat?
Wait. Node minus V. This is the link. This is the doc link. You can start. I will paste it in the G space as well.
Have you typed nodes minus V in the CMD, right?
Yes, node space minus V. There should be a space.
Yes, yes. And it shows version 20.17.0.
Okay, it's showing. Then I think uh, you can do one thing. If it is installed, then try closing your VS Code and run it again. And then in the VS Code terminal, try you running the command node minus V.
Run the command.
The same command which you have running in the VS Code again once you restart your VS Code. Okay.
Okay.
Yes, yes, Sandeep. What is the error? Permission denied. I think some permission issues it has, so you can go ahead with. Okay, you don't have the right for the privileges. You have to give you have to use sudo, I think. That way you would be able to use this command.
Nishkash, I was able to reset the password for my user. So
Then
what
you
should
can
I do?
then you can go ahead with the commands on this one.
Let me just check. So it needs to be run from the WSL without I mean within the WS code.
Yeah, within the WSL terminal, you have to run.
Can I share my screen?
Yes.
You are seeing it now? Yeah.
We, yes. Yeah.
So
So,
sudo app update.
set the password.
Okay.
Yeah. Then the next command is sudo apt install node.js.
I think let's see what. Okay, it went through. So now it's so much faster from here. Am I sharing my screen? I don't. Uh,
Yes, your screen is visible.
okay, okay. So it's almost there.
Hmm.
It's quite a heavy software. I see that. So would this installation give us a upper hand on this, the one like we use CDN, because the CDN one probably require little or no setup, right?
Yeah, like it can Vue3 can handle the complexities like creating charts, putting images, multiple images, and everything, and it is a little bit faster and easy to manage.
Mhm. Yeah, I think this is done now. What should I do now?
Once you are done, then you can next command is I think sudo apt install npm.
No, that I already run.
Okay, that is done. Then now you can do npm install -g at the rate.
Mhm. npm install this one. Yeah, this one.
Npm install so this one.
I'm sorry, guys, all of you. I'm taking the time here.
No worries. No worries.
We do have the same issues. No problem.
So you guys did it very quickly. I'm so sorry for my bad, actually. You too. Okay.
Then now view
Okay.
create front end. View create front end.
Okay, so it is showing like this. Do I need to?
Yes, yes. Hit enter.
Initiating Git repository.
Shubham, if you have installed your view and everything outside virtual, then just do it outside this. Run this command outside. You don't need to activate environment mode.
Yeah, even I did not activate it just now.
Yeah, yeah, that is fine.
It created the folder, but it is doing something.
Yes, it will create a folder. Now you can stop sharing. I have put other commands. If you check the document, I have commands to set up content. I have put up all the commands what you have to do after each thing is done. Okay. Like once you are done with this thing, you can go ahead with CD front end and then view add router and this in this. Uh, so when then do view add router and enter Y whenever he asks for any prompt to enter like are you want to do this or something. So you can do it this thing. And once you are done with all this thing, then in the same front end folder you can run this npm run serve command.
This one question, this view npm install view CLI should be done within the front end folder or outside?
What thing? This
The first
view
one.
this one.
No, the first one. npm install -g.
This should be done inside the main folder because front end folder will be created after using this, right?
Okay.
So there will be no front end before this thing. So this is the basic. So on the first terminal, we are running our this front end server, and now we will move ahead with the back end side of the application. So in the front end folder, create two folders, two files with the name of app.py and another file with the name of model.py.
So how did you stop the server, Nishkars?
You can just do it control C, control plus C, and then stop. If it is running right now, just hit control plus C.
I have run all the codes in the document you shared. So what next to do?
Okay, so this is your this is running, right?
Yes.
Okay, then now we will do other things.
Should I install virtual environment now?
Yes, you can install virtual environments.
Were these commands supposed to be inside the virtual environment or outside that?
This node thing on another thing, whatever we have done is inside outside the virtual environment.
So right now I have not installed anything inside the virtual environment. All right.
Yes.
I mean, yeah.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, Nishkash, I think my laptop crashed actually while doing it. I'm not able to bring it up here. It created the front end folder, but after that it hanged and crashed.
Okay. It created it now. Then I think just so are you right now with the mobile? Have you joined the mobile?
I joined with the mobile. Yes, yes.
Okay, so once your laptop started, you can just run the npm run serve command, and if you see links like this thing, like running app running on or something, so everything is installed perfectly.
No, okay. I'm not able to see in the mobile actually. This is quite.
Wait, I will go my turn.
Here we are using Vue 3 or Vue 2.
View 3.
Okay.
Okay, so once it is installed
How
again,
to stop the app running?
control plus C.
C.
Yes.
And it asks whether to terminate that job. I have
Yes.
to type yes. Okay.
Okay, so we will move ahead with other things. So we have created a two file. You can just do it using this thing, app.py and models.py. So first thing we will be doing is uh, creating some models. So from datetime import datetime, from Flask SQL Alchemy import SQL Alchemy, and then from Flask and then Flask and then WordPress security import. So what is the each working of these things are date time and other thing. This we will be using, let's say if you want to store some date type of information, like whenever a service is created or something. So we will be using date time for that. Plus SQL Alchemy we will be using to access our database SQLite file and in our Flask application. And work check that security. This we are doing is because whatever the password that will be created when doing a sign up, it would be stored in a hash format. And what is the use in this part is, so we will be creating the user table, and along with it we will be creating a dummy credentials of app of an admin. So it would be like whenever the database would be created, if the admin is not present, or whenever our app will run, so it will make sure that the admin credentials should always be there. So for do that, we will also store the admin password in a hash format. So that's why we will be using this workflow.security. Now, how you can install is uh, now how you can next thing we will do is app equals to Flask, give it a name, then app.config. So we will do our basic configuration. So SQL Alchemy database URL. So what we are doing here is we are mentioning the path location of our path location and the file name of our database with which would be linked to app. So whenever we will call our application like database, it would automatically like call this grocery.db file where it is located. Next thing we will do is config SQL and track modification. We will stop the modifications thing. So the application should not track this. So once we are done with this, we will create a DB instance SQL Alchemy app. And once we are done with this, now we come to creating a user table. So we will be creating a user table. So for that, we have to create it like this. We have to define a class, and then inside the class, we will use db.model, user db.model, and then inside the class, we mention the column name which for which you want to create. So I will be using an ID column, which will be our primary key. So db dot column. You can this. Then other columns would be username, db.column, db.string, comma. It should be a unique one. So if you want your email or your username, any one of them to be whatever you are storing, that it should be a unique. Then you can mention.
Will we be using Flask security?
I will be using JWT for token-based authentication and other stuff.
Okay.
But if you have already using Flask security, then you can just ask your doubts and that part. Db.column data string, comma modified equal first db.column db.string and default value will be username. So what we are doing, we have created other two columns, which is password, which will store about password. Next is a role. So this way we will be using to differentiate between the different roles in our application. So for this part, what we are doing is we are by default, we will be saving. So whenever a new sign up will be done, we don't have to mention it like it is a user or something. By default, it will be saved as a user. If you want a special sign up for other roles, then you can just mention like role equals to, like if you want to save or so you can just directly mention like this, role equals store manager or something, and it will save as store manager. If you mention nothing, so if you pass everything and just do not mention the role part, then by default it will save user in the table. Now once we are done with, we will be creating so this we will use uh, to debug if there is some error. So now we have done with creating uh, creating a layout of our user table. Now the next thing would be to create a Adobe instance. So how we can do is with app underscore context. So make sure that you mention this thing, because under this pretend this thing will be done. If you try to create a table outside it, it will give you an error that it should be done under the context type. The first thing we will do is we will create a table. So if there is no such table, then all the tables that is not present will be created using this tv.createAll command, and then we will do the thing if user.query dot filter by username admin. So if like what we are doing is we are just checking that particular in the user we are applying a filter and checking if the username of an admin is present or not. If it is not present, then we will create a admin password, generate password hash, admin password. So it will create a hash password, and then we will create a variable with the name of admin and fill the values. So admin comma password equal admin password and role admin. So we are especially mentioning that we want the role to be an admin one. So once we have populated the data inside the variable, we will just add that data. Admin dot session commit, and if it is present, then we will just do print already access admin already exists. So this is how you can create your own. So any particular doubt in this part, you can ask.
Yeah, why do we need that app context here? I mean, I thought we used to do this in the app.py. I think, okay, you have done everything in the model.py itself, right?
Yes.
So app.app context here, I mean, with app.app context db.create all.
Yeah.
If we do not use with that part, what happens? I mean,
This part, if we do not
line 25, yeah.
Yeah. So if we do not do with this thing, so what will happen is it will treat all the codes like db.create all and other things like it is a command coming like initiating out of application context. So it will not recognize this command and give you an error. So if you want to make changes in the database and everything, so you have to done all the things inside the app context. So it will especially recognize that you are trying to make changes in the database and trying to access modifications inside our app text, like not outside of app. So no one else can do. So it is security measure. So that's why you have to use this thing.
Could you please scroll up a bit? And then, okay, in line 21, what does the dunder REPR dunder do? I mean, like in line 21.
So this is just for we will be using like let's say if there is you have created some table or something, and we have to make sure this like basic query things table is successfully created and we want to change. We have to check few things. Then we use this thing.
No,
So
I
when
mean, is that a keyword that REPR? Is that a keyword? Dunder REPR dunder? Is that a keyword or just?
Yeah, it is a self reference. So
Okay,
whenever
okay.
we will do this user.self, so it will give us like it will always give this username and everything. So it will access in the app.py side to access username and other things. So we can use it through this.
No, I mean, again, just rephrasing the question that REPR, is it a keyword or can I use it anything as like init or something like that? Like definition name, the function definition name. That REPR, right? You have used double underscore REPR double underscore. Instead of
Yes.
that, can we use some other name for the definition for the function, or is it a keyword?
Keyword. It's a keyword, I think.
Oh, okay. Because yeah, I mean, yeah, okay.
So like what is it is in a like it is generally used to represent a certain object or a class in a formal string manner, and the purpose of this is to for the like it's used in the developer side. So it is meant for developers, so we can use it for debugging. So that's why what I said previously, like if we want to see that certain columns are present or not, and it is working, and we are able to call the user table in our app or something. So that's why we are mentioning this thing. So we can, as a developer for the backend side, we can use this thing instead of
Okay.
every time opening a database and then checking if this is or not present or not and everything. We can just do it from this side.
Right. And could you please scroll up a bit?
Yes.
For each table, we have to do that REPR.
Yes.
Or is it one?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, and what does line number 9 do? That app.config SQL Alchemy track modifications false.
So
line 9.
what it helps is like whenever you will try to make some changes in the SQL Alchemy, so there always a log will be created and everything, right? So you have done this thing and that. So as our app is small, so to reduce some load, we are doing this SQL Alchemy track modification. So it will not create a log file of it and not store the whatever we will do modification and other things. It will not be stored in an app dot like in the app logs file, error files or something.
Okay, so here there's a related question. I remember that when we used to have model.py, and whenever I make a change in a model code, then we have to recreate the database, right? I mean, in Mad1, I faced that. Like whenever I change something in the model, and like if I change the class or if I add a new column in the class, then I'll have to recreate the database to implement that modification. And then I think I read somewhere that is it possible to modify the database or modify the model without having to recreate the database every time you do that? I mean, I was just wondering if this line 9 has something to do with that, because it says track modification. So
No, that is not something to do that. And regarding creating, let's say you have created some new columns or something. So one thing is what you can do is run a SQL query or something. You have to run a SQL query or something in the particular database file, and then you would be able to access that particular column. Otherwise, you have to delete the previous one and then run this thing application again, and then during the db.create all, it will create new columns inside the table as well.
yeah. So I was just wondering, is there a way, like suppose you have already created a database, okay, you have already entered some data, some users, and now you have suddenly created a new column in one of the tables, all right, and you don't want to create the database again, like then you have to populate the data again. Is there a way to modify the model? Is there a way to modify the database without having to recreate the model or the database? Or every time you change something in the model, you have to just create the database again?
Let me check.
Because yeah, it was last time I remember it was a big hassle. Like every time you change something, you add a new column again, you have to repopulate the whole database, right? So there must be some way to avoid that.
In my opinion, I think if the column that you are adding does not have any constraint like unique or not nullable, I think the previous, it should get added to the previous model. That's what my understanding is. So if it is like new column that you are adding is not nullable, then obviously the previous data will not comply to the constraint of this column. I hope I am making myself clear.
But in above, could you scroll up, Niskars? Line number 25, and also because db.create will be executed every time, and also that where we define the name of the SQLite file, right? Where is it? I think it's above, somewhere above. That app dot could you just scroll up a bit? Yeah, like line number 8, because that will be executed every time, and as soon as it is done, it will recreate that grocery.db, right? I think that will override the old database, isn't it? If I run this, whenever I run it, if
so
it
first
doesn't,
thing, it check that particular table is present or not. So let's say the particular table is present, but if you created a column inside of it, so I think it will bypass that thing. So one way in the Flask is to use a migrate thing. So there is Flask migrate type of thing, which will help us. So, but still, whenever you create a new column, you have to run a particular command to Flask db migrate something. So it will make sure that whatever the changes being done in the table, whole the column wise as well would be implemented or make so that your previous data would also be not removed and new thing will be implemented.
Okay, yeah, I think I remember reading. Well, could you please demonstrate that toward the end? I mean, once we are done with everything, just as a note, like sometime if you have time, could you please show how to do that? Because it takes up a lot of time. Every time you might keep changing, experimenting with the model, and if every time I have to repopulate the data, it takes up a lot of time. So if you could do it, then it'd be great, right? If you have time, then could you please show it later on?
Yeah. Until now, I was also not using that thing, but in the next session, till I will look into the thing and then I will demonstrate it. That is
All
fine.
right. Yeah. Thank you. That'd be great.
Yes. Any other?
Nishkash, I started all over and I kind of I created ran this command view create front end, but it is still populating something, but the front end is created. Now, how should I verify that the front end, all the modules in the front end has been populated or not?
You can just go in your terminal command in your terminal, go to the front end folder,
Yes,
cd
yes.
front end, and then just do npm run sir. And if it is everything is successfully installed, then you will be able to see the links, like the local and network links, app running at something type of.
Wait a minute. I'm sharing it. So it is like this.
Yes, I think it's still installing all the things. So once it is done, right now there is only 2 folders. More folders will be there. So once it is done with installing, then you have to run the other commands as well. View add router and other things. It's installing right now. It is not installed properly.
So now I went into this backend and I started coding this. So even if even this is activated, I think why this is not importing.
We have not installed all the libraries right now in the virtual environment, right? So we will be installing it. Right now we are not installing a virtual environment.
I got it. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, and next thing we will be doing is creating an app.py code. So what we will do is we will be importing necessary libraries. So from class import class, comma JSONify, we will be using it. From Flask RESTful. So we will be using Flask RESTful for our API creations, resource and request, and we will be using Flask AWT extended, AWT manager, create access token to create access token whenever successful login will be done. JWT required, we will be using, let's say previously we would be using Flask security. So user role required or something. So same way this JWT required will work. So instead of expecting you have created a session and a session is running, what it will do, it will always from the front end side in the payload, it would accept a access token would be sent as well. So if the access token is sent and it validate, like it is a valid, it is not been expired or something, so then a particular function will be triggered, otherwise not. And next thing we will be doing is from Flask import CORS. So COR is a cross origin resource sharing. So what it does is, so usually we will be using 2 servers, front end and the back end server, and we will be transferring lots of data between front end and the back end part. So in between that, what the problem arises is if you send too much of data, sometimes the backend data, the backend URL can block that particular IP or a route or a browser, so that you will not be able to access the backend things. So Flask course is generally used. So this is a cross origin required. It is generally used to allow all the requests to be sent successfully, and it will not block any type of request which you will get from the backend side. Sorry, from the front end side. So that's why we use this. Next thing would be WebSocket security. So first thing would be to generate password hash, and then next would be check password hash. So generate password hash would be used to create a password hash format, and check password hash. So every time we do a login procedure, so whatever the password that is stored in the backend side is in a hash format, and whatever you will enter. So let's say backend password is something, would be something like something kuch, like this, and what you will enter in the front end side in your browser would be uh, like, let's say, admin password, this. So this check password has what it does is it this rehash this particular password and convert it into a readable format, and then it matches to this front end password, that if it is correct or not. So this is how the check password thing works. And from model, we will be importing our DB and our user table. So this thing. Now the next thing is we will initialize our app here as well. And same way in this part also we will do same thing. This thing would remain same. So we are linking the grocery DB to the app.py side as well. And then next thing, extra thing we will be doing is JWT secret key. So what it does is whenever your access token will be created, so to unhash that particular thing, the JWT token, you have to give a secret key. Otherwise, this will not be unhashed. So under the pretext, if you are in a developer phase or something, you are developing remotely, so you have to give this security key. Otherwise, this JWT key you will not be able to uh, changes and check the things if it is working fine or not. So this is the basic thing. We will initialize our app, and then we will just do course app comma origins equal star. So what is this? So what it does is we are mentioning the course. This application we are allowing every type of method we get from the front end side. If you want that certain type of method should be there, so you can just do it like this, get and post. So what it does is, so it will only receive certain type, it will only allow certain type of methods from the front end, and other methods which can be a delete and other would be restricted, and it will not be done. Next thing is JWT equals to JWT manager, initialize our JWT manager, and last thing is API. So this is how we are done with all the initialization part of our application. So last thing let's do is create app.run debug equal true. So we are done with this thing. And now how to install all the dependencies. So the command is pip install flask restful flask JWT.
I think while installing instead of underscore, it should be hyphen.
Where?
When we install pip install Flask RESTful and all that.
Yeah, it means if you give a space, then it will automatically differentiate. That is also fine.
Okay.
And what last SQL and
And the format of this database file should be SQLite 3 or .db?
format would be SQLite 3.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so now all the things are installed. I will paste the commands here as well. Uh, so this is the command. You can go get it from the thing. And now if you run it, cd backend and then python app.py. Wait, I think spelling mistake. Yeah. Now see our application is running, and also if you check our user table is created. Wait, I think I have made. Oh, sorry. Admin password. I have to. Yeah. Okay, now you can see this is come in a hash format, the password, something like this, so that we cannot get somebody else cannot get it. So this is how you can create a table and a dummy informations. So what you can do is you would be creating multiple tables and something. So during the storation, when you will upload it on the uh, upload it, or you are running your app first time and there is no database here, so you can put some dummy informations, like it's still not like you just keep admin side. You can just put other informations like normal users information, basic normal service, basic like some of the dummy things you can add from the start as well, so you don't have to go back and add all the things when you are working or working on the things part.
Niskar, if we store the password in the hash format, how
Yes.
are we going to use it in the demonstrate? Like when we use the app in the user interface, how do you know what password to use while logging in? Right? We still have to see if the app is working. Then how do we reconvert it, or when you reverse it back from hash?
So to reconvert it, the first thing is if you are creating dummy through the dummy data, you can get it from here. Okay, like this is the password, and from the user point of view, where there is no developing or something, so that is to secure everything. So whatever the user will create password, he can store it somewhere else or somewhere something, but in the database it will be saved and then check thing. If you want to reback to the password, so
Yeah, so I mean, like when we want to use the app, right? We want to log in as a user just to check that
yes.
the functionality is working. I still need to know the password. What the actual password is, because in this case we still need to check the functionality of the app. In that case, if I am storing everything in the hash format in the database, how do I know what the password is for the users? I mean. Right.
So let's say for the debugging, you have created a dummy user, right? Okay.
Right.
And it has stored a password hash and something, right?
Right.
So, but if you are creating it here, like let's say in the 20th line, you have to give something, right? Like we are giving a string admin password.
Oh no, but okay, this is for the admin. That's fine. Admin will be
But other
automatically
users
created.
also,
Yeah. Other users say, but we'll be doing it from the user interface, right? From the front end.
yeah.
Isn't
But
it? I
for
mean,
testing, you have to create a. So for testing purposes, if you are creating a new user, let's say you have created a new sign up user. So
Right.
what are the password, whatever the password which you have feed in the sign up process, you can use it. So you have to save it in your browser, right?
Okay, you have to save it somewhere. That's why we have to save it somewhere else, besides the database, right? Because database won't show it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
database. So it's data, like it is used to secure the database part,
Okay,
so that nobody else.
got it. And could you just open that app.py app file
Right
here?
now, yeah, here there is nothing, so it will.
No. So I just want to get why is there a duplicate? Why are we using 9, 10, 11? Line number 9, 10, 11. Sorry, but line number 8, 9, 10 are duplicates in both app and model, right? Why do we have to do that in both the files? Can we not do it just in one, maybe app.py and not in model.py? Because we are initiating app in both the model as well as app files.
Yeah. So why we are doing it? Like we can do it in the same thing, like in the app.py part, and we will just use import the DB thing from here and then call other things. During my time, I was previous session, I was just debugging it, and that time I used this thing to just make sure the models.py is working fine or not. So from there,
But it's duplicate, right? I mean that initiating the app as a Flask object here is
yeah,
a duplicate, isn't it? I mean here we are duplicating both app and
yeah,
model.
we
That's
are
the
just
line number 7,
putting
7, 8, and 9.
created app inside another created app.
Right,
So we are
right.
creating like there is a file inside that there is another file with the same thing.
So are these both the apps are these like same files or one would override
Same
the
file.
other?
So it is
Same
override
file, okay.
so the main thing, which is this one app.py, has
Right.
override all the model.py app, and it has
Okay.
taken care of all the things. And so this app.app context. So like if you want to just check the model.py part of the code and something, so you can run it directly here. Just
Yeah.
mention it this line and this
So
line, and it will start.
I can start from DB SQL Alchemy from that, right?
Yeah,
Initiating
if
DB
you
as an
want to
SQL
use
Alchemy
this,
object and then start.
yeah,
Yeah.
if you want to use it just like this, you can do.
And in that case, we'll have to do we have to import app? No, like that app dot context in app.py will actually take care of that.
Then you
Yeah.
have, if you are creating a dummy data and everything, so this line, all this
Yeah.
line would go back to the app.py side of the code,
Okay.
because now the app is initialized there, and if you
Right.
call the app here and there, so it will create a cycle, because you are creating an app that is not being defined. So you just
Yeah,
mention
got it.
this db like this would be removed, and this also let's say.
But we'll have to add that line app context in app.py, right? There we have to, I think we have to use app push app.context or something like that. App push app.context, isn't it? I mean, app context. Okay. And the other part was, could you please explain the JWT manager once again? Like when you write from the beginning, how does it work? That Flask JWT extended module.
Flask JWT. So how? Okay.
So, Nishkash, I was working parallelly, so I was able to run that npm serve. Okay.
Yes.
And it gave me two URLs. One is the local, the other is the network. So when I click on the localhost wala URL, it is, it is opening up a front page like home and about.
Something like this.
Yeah, sometimes we what's that?
Yeah,
something like this. Yeah, of course. This is the one.
Yeah.
So do you think it is a good setup for me now?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
So how does JWT plus JWT extended will work? So there are these two libraries. So JWT manager is just to initialize our JWT. After that, we will be using this create access token, JWT required, and get JWT identity. So how it usually works is whenever you do a sign up login process, and let's say you fill some username and password, and from your side you have confirmed it that everything is correct, that username is correct and the password is correct, then on a basis of a certain identity, let's say your unique user ID and its role, you created a access token. So access token is of certain length, which will have all the information, which is user ID and the password in a manner which nobody else can read it. So if you want to read that, you have to use this particular certain key to get back what you have stored in that particular hash format. You can set put as it is a hash format where all the information are saved in an encrypted way. So all your IDs and everything will be saved as an encrypted way that we will send it to the front end side. So now on the basis of that particular token, we will be doing all our CRUD operations, because if that particular token is present there, then we can say that particular user is authenticated or not. And also from the front end side, we will be sending that particular token again from the front end to the back end, and this using this JWT required thing, it will make sure that we are receiving that front end is sending and the back end is receiving a token, and it is a valid token which is not being expired, or it has certain things present in them. So that is how we use this JWT manager thing. Same
So,
class.
so what
Yes.
is the difference between a cookie and a token here? I mean, it sounds like, I mean, as if it's like a cookie, it's working like a cookie, right? Or is it something different here? And what is the full form of I mean, I'm just a little confused. So when we use a cookie for like session management, is it not the same way as this JWT manager, or is it the same thing? Like, basically, I understand that it's a to and fro between the front end and the back end using a token to validate whether the user is actually the user that is logged in, right?
I think there's a concept of persistence over here. So I think the token can persist like infinite amount of time, but the cookie expires actually. I might be wrong, but that is the concept I grabbed earlier. So if we do not have the setup of expiring the token, it can last forever. Yes, Nishkesh?
Yes, so the cookie base is a stateful type of way, and JWT is a stateless. So, so whatever the token you will send, it will remain there in in your browser or somewhere. But in a cookie based, the server will always keeping track of your user session, like informing something in a Redis or something, and whenever you will request something, whenever you do a certain type of request being made, so the server just check the session IDs present in the cookie to sessions data or something. So, but but the cons is that it is not scalable for larger system. So as the server must as the server size increases or the users increases, it is very pretty much hard to maintain and manage session states for many users. So that's why it is a advanced version with the cookie based authentication. So in the JWT, we don't have to. So it reduces some loads, and we can manage multiple users using JWT thing.
Okay, so it's basic. Okay, it's still authentication, right? You use
Yes.
authentic. Okay, it's just an advanced form of authentication. All right, thank you. And then it is persistent. Like it can. I mean, as long as the server is not shut down, as long as the server is running, it'll persist. I
Yes.
mean, or the user has not logged out, it'll persist.
Yeah, means you can set the particular timeout for which the particular token will be active, or if you have not mentioned it, then until the server by default it has some proper timeline. After that it expires, but mostly until that there will be no changes made in the token, and you can use the token everywhere. So if you are doing debugging or anything, if you have the token, you can use it remotely or somewhere else. So you don't have to rely on the browser side as well. Cookie will always remain be on the browser side and everything. So you can't do debuggings and other things of the API checking. Like we will be using Postman and other things to just check the backend side, like the backend things are working or not. So for that, the token based authentication, the JWT is a lot better than the cookie based.
Okay, okay. Thank you. Okay, so we have done with this thing. So the last thing we will do is we will try to write a logic for a sign up page, and then we will move at we will start from the next session. So we will be writing an API. So how you can write an API, RESTful API is you will define a class, let's say sign up resource, and then now under the class, whatever there are 4 type of methods. So def get method, post method, delete method, and put method. So whatever the method which you are writing for, you have to put it like this. So for sign up we need post method, so we mention it like this, self. And if you want to use like write get method, you can write like this, and then write the logic inside the definition. So now whenever you will receive some particular request, so on the basis of what are the method that is being called, it will automatically trigger a particular def function inside that particular class. Now what we will do is parser rec parse. So we will be what this thing does is whenever we send data from the front end, we receive a data in a JSON format. So rec parse. So rec parse use it to like rec parse you can use is a special type of method so that you can read the JSON format in a code based manner. So what you can do, parser dot add argument. You mention this thing. So what it does mean is, so this is the basic format. If you see user and then some information, let's say username, then something, let's say Nishkash, then let's say second thing would be password. Password. So this is generally a JSON format. This is the generally a JSON format through which we communicate. So now if you see there are key and value pairs. So this is the key and this is the value. This is the value. Same way we can have multiple key and the value pairs. Now what we are doing is in the parser we are saying that whatever the data we are getting will be stored inside this variable, and inside this what we are doing is we are just checking that certain keys are present or not. So parser dot add argument, username type would be a string. So we are also make sure that whatever the data which we are getting from the front end, from the front end is of particular type as well, and if it is a required field or not. So if it is required field means it should be compulsory and it should not be null. So it is a double validation type of thing. And then add argument, let's say password, its type should be a string as well. It is also required. Same way, parser dot add argument, name by str, comma, required true, and last thing which we will be getting is our role column. So for role we will just mention the type str, and if we do not get anything, so we will just set it as by default. So it can be null, and if we do not get anything, then it will automatically allocate a value which is user to this particular key. Yeah. So do we have to do this because in the model we have already given a default, right? Even if we don't do it by default, the model will use a user role, isn't it?
Yes,
So do we have,
you can
we have to
like
yeah.
Yeah, it is not compulsory. You can remove this thing.
The line 25 is optional.
So
I
you
mean,
can
we
just
may-
keep it like this. A role type str. So
Okay.
yeah, if it is null, then it will not be. But the way is it's like let's say if you receive a null type of thing, so your role will show it like this. So role equals to like this. It is an empty string. So even then you have to put a if condition there. So if a role is empty or not. So if it is empty, then you will not pass the role in the add argument thing. But if it is means if it is let's say it is this thing, so you have to put a if condition. If role equal this empty, then you will just do like say we are adding a user, so user equals to user, and then we will pass other things. So username equals something and password equals something, but we will not call the role thing. So but so there will be two arguments will be added automatically. So to just make sure that we don't add to remove a single 2-3 lines, so we don't have to do that also. We can add this thing to just make sure, because you have to make sure that if it is an empty, then you have to call the user table, like the
Right.
role. You have to pass the role thing.
Right. No, but then when will the default work? Like add argument role as default. Suppose in this case with line
Yeah.
25, if I still use role as an empty string, then will it use default as user? It will use an empty string, right? The role will
So
then
if
be
you
empty
do
string.
not fill, you not like let's say
With
you
line
do not
25, with line 25, the way you have written it, with that. Now
so
if I give role as an empty string, then what happens?
yeah. So if we given it as an empty string, then it will allocate a value this user.
Oh, so I thought default is only when you do not give any value, or isn't it? Or
Yeah, by default, like means if you are by default, it will always be there. But if it checks that part certain key has a value or not, if it has an empty, so if it is an this thing, if it is this, then it will automatically assign this value. Otherwise, if there is something present there, let's say this, so it will not be allocated. It will not do anything like this.
yeah, I mean, an empty string is also is considered as a value, no? I mean, it's not null. An empty string
But
is
it
not null.
take care of like the empty string. It take care.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
yeah. So now we we check all the arguments like this is present or not, and we all store all the arguments inside this variable args or something. So now what we will do is we will implement a few checks. If user dot query dot filter by username equals to args. So this is the way to call a key from this thing. So this is present or not. So if by the name of this username, if it is present, then we will just do return a message. Let's say username already exists, and this is the code. So what it means is whenever you send certain type of request or something, there are status codes so that the front end side or the browser knows that the request or whatever the thing you requested for any method is being done successfully or not. So if there is if the request is successful, then the code is generally like 200 201 or something. But if there is some error or something, then we denote it using 400 and 401 type of code. So this is the status code basically we generally use to check the certain things are being successful or not, and we can use that thing to show the errors in a proper format in the front end side. Now we will hash the password in generate password hash. New user equals to user. We will fill the details. Username, password. Let's say as password, and then role. db dot session dot add new user PV session dot commit, and then everything is done. So this is a successful thing. So we will just mention it like this. User created successfully. So this is how you done. This is the API we are written, but now right now it is not linked to any of the URLs. So how to add is API dot add resource. Mention the class name. So the class name is sign up resource, and then in the single quote you can mention it like this /API /sign up. So this is how it's been done. Now, if you want to check if it is working or not, so how you can do is, first thing is there's this thing. If you go to the extension and write Thunder client, you will see the first option. Please install it. After installing, once you are done with installation, you will be seeing like this type of sign, Thunder sign, and here you click on the new request. Here, what you can do is put the API, write the API. So let's say this is the API. This is the API for our creating a new sign up user. It will be a post method, and in the body part, you can do it like this. Wait, body form reason. So let's say username. Okay, write it. Username. Nishkarsh, comma, password. Nishkarsh. This. JSON. Oh, this. It would be sent like this. It should be in double quotes. Send. Required parameters.
Name is there, one more field.
One more thing was field was there.
Wait,
Name was there. Name.
Thank you. User created successfully. So this way you can check status okay and everything. Now if we check our database, so just open your grocery.db and you can see the user has been created, and by default it has taken the role of user, and the password and every other information is also saved in the database. So this is how you can check that your sign up API is working fine and it is creating a new user and everything. Same way we can do other CRUD operations, like you are checking to fetch the user info or something. So let's try to check class. How
Nishka, could you just show the read operation using an API? Because
Yes, yes.
how do I format using a JSON object? That was
Yes, sure. So let's say user info resource. Yeah, here what we will do is just fetch. We will send all the informations in the front-end side. So users equals to user dot query dot all, then user underscore info equals big bracket as curly braces. Inside the curly braces in double quote, it's ID, user.id, then name, user dot name, uh, username, user dot name. Once you are done with writing, here you can write for user in users, and you can just send it to front end like this, return user underscore info, like this. Now if I initialize it, add resource user info comma user info, so we have created resource under, yeah, select the cat method, user info, wait, I think,
You have to change the JSON actually.
okay, username, password and something. Here there is an error. This is not present in the table. Also this thing. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Now you can see that ID, username, and all being sent in the in a JSON format. So this is how a GET request can work. So you can write your GET request and send the particular informations in a proper way, and then just return it to the front end side. So, is it clear now?
Sir, what was the error?
So the error was there is no column with the name of name. I by mistake write the name here, but there is no name thing in the column user table. If you see the model.py, there is no name column.
Sir, but how was the previous thing working? User thing working?
The thing previously worked was I just called by mistake write the code for name, but there is no nothing with the name of, if you see username, password and role. So it
Okay,
got
okay.
created, but just in
Fine.
the
Got it, sir.
yeah. Other doubts? Any?
I actually tried sending the post request, but I get the message username is required, even though I've sent the username.
Check the spelling or something, like it should be in double quotes. And can you share your screen?
Yeah, just 1 minute.
So Nishkat, I was not able to code along. So maybe once you share this code in the GitHub, I'll try to do it. And
Yeah,
maybe if
sure.
I have some doubts tomorrow, I can ping you.
I
Is it
think
visible?
yes, wait. I think the error is transfer. Hmm. Okay, go to new request. Username, go ahead. Okay, go back to your app.py.
Okay.
There is no name property in the app.py in the post definition, right? And you are posting a name as well.
I think it should just ignore it because it will anyways not take that. I mean, I'm anyways not accepting the input. But the message that I get is username is required, so that's what
Send
I'm
it
worried.
again. Which is the first username. Why the first two? Rec path. Have you called rec path from
Where
the
should I
class
do?
threshold? If you scroll up,
Yes, I have.
rec path you're called. Dependencies installed. Also,
Think I'll just check, sir. I'll just give me some. I'll also try to debug.
rec which post and
I
features.
think there
Let's
should.
sign up. Do one thing. Try checking with the other thing. Is okay.
Yeah,
Click on new request as well. Click on new request again.
Okay.
This one.
Even the URL is correct.
Okay.
Try removing the role and see.
What should I do?
No, that will not happen. The first line is
I'm
giving
just
an
trying
error.
actually. Yes, it is coming.
I'll try deleting the password and check if.
No. If like it checks
Because-
one by one. So from Python, start from the top line, then go move ahead. So first line is giving an error. Password dot add argument information. Once it's
So Python
Sir,
doesn't
are
distinguish
all
between
the-
single and double quotes, right? But then JSON does distinguish between single and double quotes. Right? Is that?
But for me, I think the double this thing single and double.
For Python, single and double quotes are same, but I think JSON distinguishes between single and double quotes.
Yeah, but he's using the double quote, right? So that is correct. I will just but do one thing. I will just send my code to you in the
Sure.
chat.
I'll
Paste it.
Okay. No.
Okay, it is not. Just replace the top line. You can still share your screen.
Okay.
Guys, I have another meeting coming back of the office. Can I leave now? I can sit
Yes.
up
Now there's nothing new. We will just
Okay.
debug.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, thank you. Thank you, Kaushik, for asking relevant questions on our behalf also. Sir, thank you so much.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Yeah, see you tomorrow.
Of course, sir. Bye-bye.
Sir, is it the matter that type is string within quote is an issue for him?
Yeah, I think that is
ACI.
the yes. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I got
Fine.
it. Yeah. I got it.
Yeah.
Thank you very
Thanks.
much.
You can do Control Z then now.
Yeah.
You will.
I got it. Yeah.
Sure. Okay. Any other doubts? The meeting link I will share as soon as I will get the recording from the Gmeet. So I will be sharing them.
So when will you be sharing the code?
Code I will be shared in like in few minutes. I will upload it on the GitHub part and then I will share it. The recording will take time. So it depends on the length and how much time the Gmeet takes to process it and then give it in a proper format.
Fine, sir.
So
Not an
for
issue.
that you have to wait.
The code will be fine, sir.
Yeah, code I will upload it and then give it to you.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for the wonderful session, sir.
Yeah.